Γεια σας, είμαι ο Δημήτρης Κιάνης και σήμερα θα κάνουμε κάτι διαφορετικό. Βρισκόμαστε στην B-Flex μαζί με τον ιδρυτή της, τον Robbert Meer. Έχουμε ξανακάνει ένα βίντεο με τον Robbert πριν από κάποια χρόνια, αλλά έχουν αλλάξει πολλά από τότε και για το συγκεκριμένο βίντεο θέλουμε να κάνουμε κάτι διαφορετικό. Θέλουμε να κάνουμε μια ωραία συζήτηση για την ποδηλασία, για τη μικροκινητικότητα, για την αγορά αυτή στην Ελλάδα και τις συναλλακτικές μετακινήσεις, αλλά όχι καθιστή σε κάποιο γραφείο, πάνω σε ένα ποδήλατο. Θα πάρουμε λοιπόν δύο από τα ηλεκτρικά ποδήλατα της B-Flex και θα κάνουμε μία βόλτα μέσα από τον ποδηλατόδρομο, το μοναδικό ποδηλατόδρομο αυτή τη στιγμή στην Αθήνα, ο οποίος ξεκινάει από το κέντρο και φτάνει μέχρι και τη θάλασσα σχεδόν. Και στο δρόμο θα πούμε αρκετά πράγματα που πιστεύουμε ότι θα βρείτε ενδιαφέροντα. Hi Robert.
Hi Dimitris.
How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
Ready?
Yes, let's get started.
Let's do it. Ωραία. Ξεκινήσαμε τον ποδηλατόδρομο και ένας από τους μύθους που θέλουμε να διαλύσουμε με αυτό το βίντεο είναι και το πόσο εύκολο είναι τελικά να κάνεις ποδήλατο με ένα ηλεκτρικό ποδήλατο, ειδικά που έχει και υποβοήθηση. Οπότε θα κάνουμε ένα διάλογο ποδηλατώντας με μια ήπια ταχύτητα, το οποίο δεν είναι καθόλου κουραστικό. Πραγματικά είναι σαν να το κάνουμε περπατώντας. Θα γίνει στα αγγλικά βέβαια, γιατί ο Rob δεν έχει μάθει ακόμα τέλεια ελληνικά.
Λίγα.
Αλλά you're getting there.
Yes, σιγά.
Okay, good. So let's start by again introducing yourself to people and what are you doing in Greece? What are you doing with B-Flex? What are you doing with your bicycles? You know, a bit about yourself and the company.
Of course. So my name is Robbert. I'm from the Netherlands. I moved to Athens 6 years ago already.
Wow, it's been 6 years.
Yeah, 6 years already.
Time flies.
Indeed. I started B-Flex in 2020. So I started with 2 bicycles and a website. And the idea was to offer flexible leasing, flexible monthly subscriptions for bicycles. The idea was that if you lower any hurdle for someone to give access to a bicycle, they're likely to give it a try. The end goal is, of course, to solve the high congestion you have in Athens, the transportation pollution that comes with it. And so 2 bicycles, we managed to build it to a fleet in 2023 of 150 electric bikes. We had in total 1,100 subscribers. At the same time, we had a waiting list of 1,000 people. So basically that meant we didn't have enough bikes to supply demand. At the same time, we also saw that other companies started investing in this business model, the flexible monthly subscriptions. And so after some discussions with the team, we said, okay, instead of trying to compete with them, let's open our own infrastructure, our website and our customer base for other fleet owners. And that's how we came to the e-mobility marketplace that we have now.
Ουσιαστικά λοιπόν η B-Flex μπορείτε να δείτε και στο site αυτή τη στιγμή της πλατφόρμας, το οποίο είναι το bflex.io. Είναι μια πλατφόρμα που μπορείτε να βρείτε ηλεκτρικά ποδήλατα, συμβατικά ποδήλατα, πατίνια, ηλεκτρικά σκούτερ, τα οποία μπορείτε να έχετε με πολλούς διαφορετικούς τρόπους, short term, long term, γενικά με ευελιξία και μπορείτε να βρείτε και αρκετά αξεσουάρ, οπότε μπορείτε να τις ρίξετε μια ματιά όσο κάνουμε εμείς αυτή την κουβέντα, να δείτε περί τίνος πρόκειται. So that was a great idea, but you started doing it in a country with barely any cycling infrastructure and you know, a mentality that bike is for very few people and for leisure, not for commuting. Has this perception of the people changed? Has the situation changed in those 6 years?
Yeah, I think a lot. If you look in Athens now specifically, if you look around, you see much more cyclists on the road. When I just moved here, I saw, if I was lucky, 1 cyclist on a daily basis, and now you see 10, 20. There's still a lot of room for growth, obviously. But even within our subscription, within our customer bases.
I want to interrupt you because we are passing through the point in Petralona where the cycle lane just stops and you have to go through all these...
We have here one of our vendors, Magda.
Yeah.
Hi. Hola, καλά, εσύ. Ciao,
Good
καλημέρα.
to see you. The only cycle lane just stops and you have to go through all these people and then restarts. So you were saying that many more, we can see this of course every day. We can see many people now cycling or using scooters or something like that.
Exactly. Also in our customer base, we had over now, let's say, close to 2,000 customers. And we see that 37% of them replace the car entirely with our bicycle and micromobility. You know, so that means that if we have enough time, enough bikes, we could get a lot more people to cycle. This will solve the congestion problem in Athens, and this is something that everybody should want. According to Yahoo research, it's the second biggest frustration of Athenians is congestion. It takes so much time to go from one place to another. And this is the result of high car ownership, with 78% of the Athenians owning a car. And then at the same time, the average fleet, it's very old as well in Athens, with 18 years of age. Which if you combine everything, it's like a toxic mix for and congestion and high transportation pollution. And this is the quality of air that is affected. And I think this is something that all of us, we should want to solve.
Yeah, this is a big problem for Athens, and along with the lack of public space, you can see right now, you know, this is the pavement. This is the pavement for people to walk, and of course they can't do it, and they walk on the cycle lane.
Yeah.
So the lack of public space is a big issue, and of course cars are a part of this problem too. Or now we can see shared scooters lying on the side of the road.
Yeah.
You know, these are issues that affect everyday lives and the quality of life of the Athenian and many Greeks in many cities. But I think we are on a good track. You know, look at how many people they are cycling past us right now.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see that 5 years ago, I think.
No, exactly. No, I'm every day, you know, you see a bunch of cyclists. It's amazing to see, and gradually we will get there. I hope the government at some point takes some action and actually starts building a more connected network for the cycling infrastructure. But until then, a couple of things that might be interesting to know. Because Athens is such a congested city, in the inner city during rush hour, the speed of traffic is only 9.6 kilometers per hour. Yeah, because the cars are basically standing still. So if you commute through the center and you have a total commute of like 2 or 3 kilometers, it's much more beneficial to take a bicycle or micromobility versus getting in line with the car, spending half an hour, 40 minutes to go from point A to point B.
Okay, now we're getting in a bit more difficult part of the cycle lane, because many people use this to stroll, to do the daily walk, and I can understand this, but this shows how much we need cycle lanes, how much we need pavements, how much do we need space to walk and leisurely and also commute. So you've been a cyclist for many years, and many of the people that may be watching us, they haven't really tried commuting with a bike yet or an e-scooter. So are there, besides the obvious that an e-bike is much easier to commute on, you don't have to put a lot of effort, do you have any other, like tips for them or any other advice? Of course, you come from the Netherlands, which is a country where most people use an e-bike much easier than in Greece. But for the Greek reality, do you have any, advice for people, or how can we persuade them to use? Hey,
duck on the road.
How can we persuade people to try any bike for the first time, you know?
Yeah. So for the trying, we made it very flexible. So you can just start a subscription, take a bike. There are very low starting costs, you know. So you just pay the month subscription fee and that's it. If you don't like it, you stop.
So from how many euros can I start, you know, get a bike for a month? What do I have to pay? What's a small amount to pay?
Yeah, so a regular bike is from 20 euros per month and an electric bike from 55 euros per month.
Okay.
So this is a nice way to try it. If you like it, you can continue. If not, you have at least tried it and you stop. Regarding overall cycling tips, you know, use roads that you're very familiar with. Try to use one-lane streets and act like a car. So don't try to go to the side of the road, for example, to make space for a car, because then you create dangerous situations by letting the car pass or people opening car doors. And so if you follow this, you stay in the center of the road and you avoid, let's say, high-speed roads, so just suburbs or inner city streets, you're going to be just fine. We have our community cycled now 1.2 kilometers altogether. We had one minor accident. It was with a Patini and a car opening its door. And so the Patini had to avoid the car opening and hit a pole. And so this is the kind of situations that you absolutely want to avoid from happening. Other than that, we didn't have any issues with safety on the road.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You know, but one of the issues for some people is, okay, I got the bike. Where do I keep it? Where do I store it? I'm afraid that it may get stolen. Of course, I think if you select the place to keep it and have an eye on it, it's much better. But this is an issue, of course.
Yeah. So again.
But again, in the Netherlands, I think they have a total different situation. You just leave the bike, and no one will steal it.
No. So we have in Amsterdam, for example. So if you compare capital cities, there's a 5% theft rate of bicycles.
5%?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the Netherlands, it's just different because there are so many bikes out on the street. You just have to be lucky that it's not yours that they're stealing. Whereas here in Athens, if your bike is parked outside, it's one of the few bikes. So if there's someone who wants to steal a bike, it's likely that it's yours. But among our customer base, again, the theft percentage has been lower than in Amsterdam. So again, there is also there, you just need to be very careful. Keep the bike inside at night. I would always recommend doing that. If you live 5th floor, for example, and you have a small elevator, you can go for an electric folding bike that fits in any elevator. Or you can go for a foldable patinha and again, it will fit in the elevator. So there are solutions also for this problem. We have now on our platform, we have over 1,000 unique products. So from bicycles to now electric microcars. We have, for whatever problem you might think of, we have a solution. It just requires a little bit of browsing on our marketplace.
I see more often people using child seats with a bike to commute with their children, to take them to school or to other activities, and that makes me really happy because I think it's a way for the kids, for the children to learn from a young age that you can commute with a bike. Most children, of course, they are used to being on the seat of the car. So I think this is a very nice thing that's happening.
Yeah, it's super nice to see. And we also have customers that indeed bring the children with the bike and baby seat to work. It's very nice, reminds me very much of the Netherlands. So this is how you, at a younger age, are being driven to school, let's say. At a younger age, you're being driven in a baby seat on a bike to school. And then once you get a bit older, I think this is from probably 10 years, etc. Then children cycle to school. And this is something that I think in hindsight is very valuable because it's independent, you go by yourself to school.
Okay, so we are in this situation. The thing is we We have the mentality of the people is slowly changing. We have very good products right now on the market. We have very high quality e-bikes, high quality e-scooters, nothing like we've seen 5 years or 10 years ago. We are maybe shifting away, as in Athens mainly, from the concept of ownership, vehicle ownership. So this is a good timing for a platform like B-Flex's platform. So tell me a bit more about what you've done in the last couple of years.
So B-Flex is an all-in-one multi-vendor e-mobility marketplace. It's a bit of a mouthful, but what we're doing is you can rent, you can lease, and you can buy your favorite vehicle via our platform. And so we have expanded now to all over Greece and even Germany, Belgium, organically also Nepal, funny enough. So we have a vendor on our platform from Nepal. As a fleet owner, what that means for you is that you can simply upload one product and you can choose if you want to rent it daily, lease it monthly, or simply sell it, or all of the above. And so it's our goal to help our vendors generate more revenue and to help them diversify their revenue, with the logic that if they make more money, they will invest further in their fleet, which will accelerate the entire growth of the industry. And at the same time, that means for the consumer that you have e-mobility wildly accessible over different services, so the rental, the leasing and the buying, in different places in Greece and quickly also in Europe. And so the logic there is that, again, if it's very easy to try something out, then we hope that people leave their bike entirely, become less car dependent, and eventually greener cities.
Yeah, I think the key is we have to reach the tipping point where enough people have switched to alternative means of transport. And then I think after that it will go a lot faster, this transition, because it's also word of mouth kind of thing. And if you see people biking, cycling every day, or commuting with e-bikes or scooters, I think at some point you will be you will have the urge to try it too. Yeah. And if you try it, I think at a great percentage, most people will realize they can work with it. Yeah, but
exactly.
They haven't tried it yet.
Exactly. So it's for our numbers now, it's 37% of the people that will try the bike, they will stay on the bike, which is of course huge. So this is also how we measure the impact we make. And of course there are some people that have to commute, for example, like 20 kilometers. There's not public transportation that can support them. Of course you need to use a car. So it's not per se an anti-car statement, the company. But the logic is really that if you commute like 2-3 kilometers and you do this via busy suburbs or the center, a bicycle will save you a lot of time, it will save you a lot of money, and it will improve your health. And so there are only benefits. I think the whole city, the whole country should want more bicycles on the road, because more bicycles on the road also means for the people that do stay in the car that there's less congestion.
I think companies should be more active in this, pursuing this goal, because I don't think many companies in Greece this day they offer initiatives for the employees to not use the car to go to work. Everyone wants to work at the company where they give him or her a car, a leased car, their own parking space, their own charging space, maybe if it's an electric car. But where are the companies that give initiatives for cycling?
Yeah. No, agreed. So we've been trying to push this with some larger companies as well. And so far not really any luck. There's one big company which is T-Tech. It's a customer service provider. And via them we are offering their employees, so their team members, we offer a discount on our vehicles. So they are actively promoting greener commute. Yeah, so I think it's very important that companies take the initiative and offer their team members green commutes, so the possibility to bicycles, e-bikes or patinette for the commuting, because again it will improve the health from the team members. It will improve their mental, so every morning I take a bike ride and I feel great. It's a perfect start of the day. If you need to spend afterwards sitting 8 hours in your office, you need a bit of physical activity. So again, there's only benefits.
Yeah, so we talked about what, 15 minutes? I don't know.
Yeah.
We've already reached the Stavros Niarchos Foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and we're cycling slow even because of the microphones.
So with the car, maybe we'd be here some minutes earlier, but we'd have to park. And it wouldn't be as much fun as this was.
Indeed.
And it's a great day today, and of course, I just want to. I'm trying all these years, to persuade people to try this, because if you try it like we did today, you realize how effortless it is. Exactly. And of course, not every situation is that easy, but at some point it will start getting easier.
Yeah.
Also,
so the difficulty that we see as well is really to have people try it for the first time. Then after
it's much easier.
The part is hooked and you're fine. It's really that first step which is very difficult for whatever reason.
Any interesting, individual stories from people that got B-Flex bikes, all over Greece? Anything particularly fun or interesting?
Yes, we just cycled by Magda. She has a company called Sun Cycling Athens. And so when she started her business, she took 4 of our city bikes because she was very passionate, wanted to start a bike rental, bike tour company. So as she leased the bikes from us, she didn't have to have any upfront capital. So she could start very easily. And she managed now to make a business on Airbnb, having 700 5-star reviews, which is of course amazing. This summer she already has 22 of our bikes, so she's growing very rapidly. And at the same time, she's also a vendor on our marketplace. We generated until now already enough money for her to pay the leasing for the bikes for the entire summer. Yeah, so that in 2 weeks' time, which is of course very, very cool, because it basically means that without any actual money, you can start a bike rental business, a bike tour business, and we can help you on the back end with supply, so we can provide you with the bicycles to start the business, and then on the front end we can help you with the customers. Yeah, so it's a 360 solution as the marketplace is now, which is very cool to see. We have a lot of people, like you said, a teacher now that uses the bike to bring her children to school, then teach, and then she picks up the children again with the bicycles and she goes back home. These stories are very, very unique and very special for me.
So we did 20 minutes to get here. Now we're enjoying the sea and this day.
Yeah.
So much easier with the bike,
Yeah.
They are here.
Exactly.
Nowhere to park, you don't have to look for where to park them or anything like that. Much easier.
Indeed.
And enjoyable. So, what's your day-to-day like?
We are a startup. Every day is quite hectic. We are a team of 4 people. So we have 2 developers that are building on the marketplace itself, the platform. We will go live with a fully customized version half of July. So that will be very, very cool and state-of-the-art. And then we have Alexandra, who's doing the marketing and partnership manager. So we have, of course, the marketing strategy itself is very important to create brand awareness, etc. And at the same time, we need to be a bit creative because, again, as a startup, we don't have the budget to do much. Yep. And so one of the things we thought of is an affiliate program, which is super nice. So Airbnb operators or hotels can join. They get a unique link. And then if somebody makes a booking via that link, they will get a commission from us. and we already have 2,500 rooms all over Greece that joined. So very exciting. So on a day-to-day basis, we're with the team fully focused on spreading the vision and the mission that we have. And then for myself, you know, we do deliveries, I have investor meetings, basically everything else in order to keep the company going. That's something I do. So even cleaning the store, just everything you can think of. So everything you can think of that needs to be done, I'm doing that.
What about when a bike breaks down, you know, or has some kind of malfunction, and the guy he wants it to work, to go to work? How fast can you fix this? How fast can you try to get back on the road?
Yeah. So our average response rate is something like 3 hours. So we're super quick, but generally we say within 24 hours. And this depends also a bit on where the bike is. So as explained before, we are now a marketplace. We have 54 companies onboarded. And so it depends a bit on the proximity between then also the vendor that we have and the actual customer. And so this is something that we're trying to improve. We are also looking at insurances for theft, as we discussed earlier on the bike. So we're trying to get some Dutch or English companies to the Greek market. And this will then go hand in hand with road assistance too.
Are bikes abroad insured, you know, for not only for theft, for do people insure their bikes abroad?
So it's not necessary, I think, anywhere in the EU, and the same applies for Greece. I think the only insurance that must go well is the theft insurance. And this depends also, it's a bit of a trade-off, because it's quite expensive generally to have on a monthly basis theft insurance. So it's a bit the calculation what you prefer, to take a little bit of risk or to pay a little bit extra more and then be risk-free.
Nice. So in conclusion, do you think there is a future for the bike in Greece? Do you think we maybe in, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years, you know, you will see many people not owning a car maybe, or not using their car so much, and commuting with bicycles or scooters in Greece?
Yeah, so I'm still very optimistic. So it's been 2020 that I launched B-Flex, and you see the market growing. Of course, I do wish that it was quicker. It was my hope that the government would act a bit quicker in terms of cycling infrastructure. I truly think that Athens is the only European capital city that is not investing in cycling infrastructure.
Probably you're right.
And at the same time you have the climate here, because imagine in the Netherlands everybody commutes with bike, but it's raining 8 months of the year and we still commute with bike.
Yeah.
So you have here so many advantages. The only thing, it's a bit of a push, I would say, from the government. I hope soon this will be the case. Either way, as I explained earlier as well, is that I believe it's very safe to cycle as long as you know the roads, you stay in one-lane streets and then in the center of that street, so don't create any dangerous situations yourself. I'm very optimistic. It will take a bit more time.
I read about, yesterday I read about a plan for 14 kilometers of new cycle lanes in Athens, by the city of Athens. So, yeah, I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I read it like yesterday, so let's hope this time we see something out of it.
Is it in the center or if it's along the boulevard?
Mainly center.
Okay.
I don't know the full plan, but they talked about 14 kilometers of bike lanes.
Okay, that would be a huge step. And as I understand, by the end of this year or next year, there will be the cycling path along the boulevard connecting the southern suburbs as well.
Yeah.
This is, of course, a huge progress, but it's not focusing on the daily commuter and not on the Greek people.
It's more like leisure or sports, you know, sports
Exactly.
cycling. So yeah, let's hope it does.
I'm very optimistic. If enough people start cycling, you know, then it will happen quickly.
Yeah, let's hope they do. Okay, it was great talking to you. Ελπίζω να σας άρεσε αυτό το βίντεο με το Robbert. Μιλήσαμε για αρκετά πράγματα, αλλά κυρίως για αυτό το όραμα που νομίζω ότι έχουμε κάποιοι άνθρωποι, να δούμε περισσότερο κόσμο να κινείται με το ποδήλατο, με το πατίνι, με οτιδήποτε άλλο, εναλλακτικά μέσα στην πόλη. Μπορείτε φυσικά να τσεκάρετε τη B-Flex στο επίσημο site της, μπορείτε να από οπουδήποτε και αν βρίσκεστε, με λίγα κλικς να μπορέσετε να έχετε ένα από τα ποδήλατά της ή ένα από τα οχήματά της πάρα πολύ γρήγορα στη διάθεσή σας. Και ελπίζω να σας άρεσε αυτό το βίντεο και τα λέμε στο επόμενο βίντεο.